landmark people. They're, you know, so thank you so much for making this happen. And thank you, June. Where's June, the editor? There she is, June. June is the midwife that pulled this out. I actually, for those of you who were in Landmark, I actually started this book as a writing exercise for a commitment seminar at Landmark, and back in 2002. So thank you, Larsons, for taking a chance and writing a book that is on the surface very, very controversial, kind of seemingly could be controversial. But I'd like, if it's okay with Randy, he, in a private conversation with Paul Brunton, for those of you who are from Wisdom's Goldenrod, who know about Paul Brunton, who's my father-in-law's personal teacher, Paul Brunton made in a private conversation, made a statement to Randy. Randy, you better do it verbatim. Yes, and then I'll
well, I guess in this crowd it's okay to say, but one day over lunch, he just sort of spontaneously started up with this is 1981, so it's 30 years old, but I don't know that it's really any different. But he said that the sinister thing about the present period is that people think it's peacetime, and it isn't. And he went into a whole series of things he said about how there were like certain dark, negative entities that were behind Hitler and the whole Nazi scene, and that when the physical World War II ended, it wasn't that they were defeated, but they were just driven back into the realm that Kathleen's actually trying to write about, the realm between the worlds, and that their next visit was with Stalin. That they were the folks that lent Stalin the power that he had for the time that he had it, and sort of like jump to the chase. He was saying that currently the battle for control of the thought current, that was the expression he used, was even more intense than it was during World War II. And it's actually as much a life and death matter now, which was 30 years ago, but I don't think things have changed much, as it was during that time. And so the whole thing of becoming conscious in this realm that Kathleen's trying to write about, and what goes on there, and what energies constellate there or get unconstellated there, really isn't fiction.
No, it's not fiction. This is philosophical ideas, and the characters in the book actually have a quote-unquote real history in archetypal, Jungian, Gnostic, and mythological thought in the collective psyche of Jung, those of you who are familiar with the terminology. But I got to show you this picture, okay? I just had this made. This really, one of the inspirations for the book. Let me precede that by saying for like the last 25 years, I've been writing and giving talks on Sophia, mainly in the Northeast, in New Haven and San Diego and Brandeis and SUNY New Paltz and all over the place at Wisdom's Goldenrod. And I talk about Sophia, divine wisdom. Why? Because Sophia fascinated me because most of religious history is about guys, and the Judeo-Christian tradition is about a guy, and he has no wife, he has no consort, he has no mother, he has no family, he has no sister, he has no past, and he sends his one son to be crucified and publicly humiliated, and the mother does nothing. So in nature, you would never find this. You would never find such an odd situation, an uncoupled male related to nothing, related to no one. So in the book, I suggest that that's the model for every Pol Pot, every, not just religious, but atheistic culture. A male that's not related to nature or to anything else, to me is a model of like an anti-god, or like what we would call in religious terminology a Satan or a devil. And so in the book, what I do philosophically as a philosopher, I don't demonize anyone's God. What I do is Mercurius in alchemy is the language that has been created about about the Judeo-Christian God. And those interpretations were made by just regular guys, you know. Some were misogynist, some were translated wrong, whatever. But the creation myth that we have that has become the core of Western civilization, you know, this is an opinion, this is not a logical, you know, rationalization, but I think it's become corrupted and has led to a lot of the environmental damage, a lot of the hatred of the earth, hatred of women, suppression of women. And so in the book, this language about God, the alchemical Mercurius, becomes possessed by a demon. And so Sophia, the queen of heaven, the queen of wisdom, personified wisdom, who is a real figure, appears, there's 400 occurrences of the name of wisdom, and she's always personified as female in the Bible. There's 5 books of the Bible, if I can remember them all: Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, Job, Book of Solomon, and Solomon, Job, Sirach, and of course Proverbs. But anyway, so I was fascinated as a woman because this was a very powerful female, and she didn't have babies. Like, she wasn't a matriarchal figure. She was powerful and wise. And then the research that I did showed that she was related to many wisdom goddesses around the ancient Near East. And I got more and more excited as, you know, as the years passed, and I realized that there was some kind of you know, first I thought, oh, she's the divine face of God, and then I was all excited, and I was saying, oh, she's the divine figure, she's the divine face of God. And then I met Ashley Montague at a conference at Brandeis that I was giving a talk at, and he looked at me and he said, what are you giving your talk on? And I said, what was it, the loss and recovery of the divine feminine. And he looked at me. Now this is a real sage in my mind, Ashley Montague. And he looked at me and he looked at me and he smiled very calmly, very nicely, and he said, "Why divine?" And I gave him some glib answer, you know, and I went on my way. And it took years and years and years before that question disrupted all my notions that there was an off-planet God. And I believe I believe that we need to turn our attention from this off-planet God who advocates blood sacrifice and torture and crucifixion and women who do not defend their sons, the Virgin Mary, and bring back the power of the feminine and bring back nature, bring our attention off this off-planet God and bring it back to the earth so that we can save the earth. And I believe that there is a malevolence and that there is good and evil, and if we don't recognize that, if we buy into all this New Age crap or all the religious stuff that says turn the other cheek, it's all good, it's all fine, and you're going to go to heaven, then we're stupid. That's all. And I don't think we should believe that. Anyway, I got to show you this picture. So how many more minutes? Anyway, so this is a picture by William Blake. So I'm not demonizing anybody's God or anybody's religion. It doesn't have anything to do about the infinity of intelligence of the parallel universes and that lies outside the universe. I'm talking as a philosopher about the interpretation of this God that has been called a lethal apocalyptic germ that developed about 2,500 years ago, presumably by scholars have determined in the Zadokine cult of the ones that wrote the Dead Sea Scroll. That's just what scholars are saying. But this is the picture that inspired me to do the Middle Realm. This is William Blake, and those of you at Wisdom's Golden Rod, I've given a number of talks on this. It's just this incredible picture of Sophia and the dragon. It's called the Sun Woman of Revelation and the Great Red Dragon. So, okay, so here's the deal. This is a face-off, okay, in the book. It's a face-off. This is a story about the face-off of the aliveness, the intelligence of the body, okay? The intelligence is not in there. It's not in religion. Religion hijacked morality and ethics. Religion hijacked our access to the good, the true, and the beautiful, and justice. It hijacked it. And you have it available within you, not religion, okay? Religion is man-made. And so this represents, in William Blake's imagination, This is our aspiration to justice and to create sustainability, to create a better world. Most of all, creativity. She's pregnant. And so she represents the divine feminine, represents the future if she's pregnant, you know, and that represents the next generation and what we want the next 7 generations to be. And this, if you're scientific, you know, those who don't get symbolism and those that don't get, you know, don't like metaphor and symbolism, this would be like a metaphor or a picture of entropy, okay? It's not anybody's religion or God. The dragon is, language can either reveal or conceal. It can either reveal the truth or it can be a lie. When you call dead babies and children in Iraq collateral damage, that's a lie. And that's what this is an image of, okay? And this is what is constantly pressuring us and keeping us from expressing our creativity and from, you know, growing conscience at the collective level. This is the possibility of conscience at the collective level, of justice, of truth, and it comes from within us. It is not from religion. It's not from religion, and that's what the book is about. Own it, you know. It doesn't mean that religion is bad, and it doesn't mean that there aren't tons of good people in religion. They are. But religion, man-made religion, does not own our access to truth, justice, goodness, and beauty. And damn it, we need to take back the earth from this off-planet God that advocates, you know, crucifixion and turn the other cheek and blood sacrifice. That's it. Okay.
That was about
If you buy the book,
Yeah.
if you buy the book, you get 20% off any wine here, whether it's a case of wine or bottle book. All you have to do is buy one book. And I forgot to say, the reason that it's young adult fiction is the little girl in the story who grows up with Sophia as her daemon is little Molly. She represents that part of us that's prematurely harvested by the institutions of our culture, be it war, when boys are sent off to war, it's harvested by religion, harvested by education, before we have reached the age of choice. And so that's why there's a little girl in the story. So, and this is from a female point of view. I'm a woman, and I've never been able to stand. I grew up very strict Catholic, and I've never been able to stand those visions of crucifixions and the blood sacrifice and all that goes on with religion. I'm coming from a female point of view, not a scholar point of view. But we got to stop it. We just got to stop all this crap, and religion is responsible for it.